Okay, so hello, welcome all. Thank you for attending today's webinar. Just as a brief introduction, my name is Jennifer. I'm one of the customer success managers here at Stora. I'm joined by our CEO, Gavin Shields, and our head of product, David Hughes. And essentially the purpose of the webinar today is to go through our new features and updates that were recently released on Stora. So they'll be given an overview of these features and updates and also demo them just to show you how they all work. We'll then have a Q&A session at the end, in case you have any questions. If you do have any questions, you have two options. You can either leave them in the chat. So if you look on the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you'll see the second last icon, the chat icon. And then if you also want to leave an anonymous question, if you click on the last icon on the screen as well, where it says meeting tools, you'll see Q&A there. So you can just add your anonymous questions there. I'll now just hand it over to Gavin and David, who will then take over and make a start with the slides.
Thank you. Thanks, Jennifer. Now, if David and I are a bit nervous, it's because David's a Man United fan and I'm a Tottenham fan. We've both got quite big games this evening, so yeah, we're just sitting here debating who's going to win eventually. And
I'm not nervous at all. I may not even get time to watch it. So thanks for sharing the slides there, Jen. If you could stick those full screen, that would be amazing. Like one, yeah.
Kick Binder B out.
Is there a way to make those full screen, Jen? And yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. Yes, welcome everyone. So yeah, like Jen said, the purpose of this is we're going to try and do this on a regular cadence, maybe monthly, maybe a little bit, or no, maybe quarterly, maybe.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out the cadence, but just off the back of the SSA UK conference, we got to chat with a lot of you in person, and there's quite a few things that people aren't aware that we've put out and shipped recently in terms of features, capabilities, new stuff, and we think this is a good format to go through. So yeah, there's quite a jam-packed update from the last time we did one of these, which is good. And yeah, so we'll go through each of them, and then we'll leave some time for Q&A.
And the point of it is just to make sure that everyone knows about the features and everyone's getting the best out of Stora and making the most out of it. Ultimately, we want your business to succeed. Yep. So it's about making sure you know what there is in Stora to help.
Yep. And speaking of helping your business succeed, so the last time, for those of you who were on the call, we went through our price increases feature in a little bit of detail, and we just wanted to do a bit of a recap on some of the results that we're seeing from that. So it's been out for a few months now, and this is some insights around what we're seeing across the platform from all of our customers using price increases. Like on average, the customers that are using this feature are growing their revenue by 10%. So that's like a 10% uplift across the board in your revenue just from a couple of clicks. You know, and I think this is a good example of one of the features that you get in Stora that helps you, not just run your facility, but ultimately grow your business. Yep. So 10% uplift across the board, and some people are seeing even higher than that. That's just the average. So, there's one customer is on track to add maybe 10K to their recurring revenue.
That's a monthly figure, so it's 120 grand a year.
Yep. So again, represents an increase of 17% on their overall revenue, and and the kind of extreme end of it, one customer has got a 31% increase. I don't know what they're doing, but hopefully all of their customers don't move out. But yeah, it's still really early for this feature, but the impact of it is quite huge. I think in most cases this will probably cover the cost of your store subscription. So
actually, I think it was way more than that.
Yeah.
But let's increase our fees to 10%.
Also, yeah. But yeah, it would be good. So if you aren't using price increases yet, you should definitely check it out. It would be actually good if in the reactions there, like if you are using price increases, it'd be good to give us a thumbs up, and if you're not, give us a thumbs down. It'd be good to maybe not thumbs down, because it's
thumbs down. Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so we're getting a few there. Cool. But yeah, if you're not, you should
give it a go.
You should give it a go, because the results are impactful.
It is worth saying, if you're not using it, I recorded a podcast episode this morning, and it'll be out next week, I think, with a pricing expert, and I was talking to him about this, because there are some customers who are not using it, and he did talk about it is a hard thing to do the first time, and and he got into a lot more detail about, you know, just the way to think about it if it's something you haven't done yet. So that'll be out next week.
Yep.
But ultimately, you know, if you're not putting your prices up, you're kind of going backwards, because, you know, everybody else's prices, your prices are going up, your costs are going up. So anyway, yeah, take a look at it if you're not doing it.
Yeah, and if you have any questions about it, you know, we can get into the Q&A later, or, you know, hit us up
On support.
Yep. So
Okay, what's new?
Yeah, so what are we covering today? So there's, you know, we have put out quite a few things, but we can talk about all of these for an hour probably individually, but these are the three things that we're going to touch on in the most detail today. So the last time we spoke, you know, one of our most requested features since Store has been started has been the ability to customize the emails that Store sends to your customers. And the good news is this is now available to all of you. We'll show you exactly where you find that in your account a little bit later. But yes, customizable emails, you're going to be able to change the text and add images and do other, you know, interesting things to make it more on brand and, you know, suit the message that you want to tell your customers. The other one that we shipped just before the SSA event last week is a timeline around the emails that we send to your customers. Again, this is another like good quality of life feature that people have not always asked for, but what's one of those ones that when you see it, you're like, wow, how did I do without this? So we'll get into where you can find that. And then the third one is tools to help you increase your insurance revenue, which I know is a matter dear to your heart, Gavin.
Absolutely.
So yes, these are the three new ones. In terms of the big things, we've also shipped some smaller but important updates that we'll not maybe demo and go into too much detail on, but they're important for you to know. So on the next slide there, Jen, if you could pop over. So yeah, just a few other things that we want to talk about. So recently we've started to get some customers from other parts of the world, which is great and exciting and challenging, but it's resulted in us adding a little bit more flexibility in some instances to your storefront. So the first thing is we've shipped this feature that allows you to change how you display your opening hours. All right, so some people prefer 12 or a 24-hour format. Again, small but important for some. I'm assuming most of you are in the UK, so this next one may not be totally relevant to all of you, but it's still an important one for certain customers. We can translate the back office now into multiple languages. So if you have any other not English speakers in your team, you can do this all the way down to the account level. So you know, if someone on your team speaks French, they can go and see the back office in French.
And we do have customers I know of in the UK who have staff outside the UK. They're doing work for them in stores, so they'll be able to do this. Use that.
Yep. And then we've made a change an addition to auto allocation. So now for auto allocation, you have two options. You can change it to auto allocate based on the highest number backwards, or now you can also flip that to be the lowest number up. So again, it's the thinking here obviously is that you may want to give your customer the best unit available, right? And that will depend on how you've numbered and set up your site. But the ultimate outcome for your customer being is that they will get auto allocated the best unit for them if you use auto allocation, which we recommend.
Yep.
More things. So we've added a few more features around invoicing and charging, and again, these are small quality of life things that will just make your team and your own life a little bit easier when it comes to day-to-day workflows. I see some thumbs up. Nice. So yes, you're going to be you can change the invoice statuses without having to go through Stripe, and you can do this for more invoice statuses than you could before. So you can do it for finalized invoices as well. You're going to be able to charge an invoice or charge a new card from the invoices view. So instead of having to bounce around lots of different places, there's a charge link up in the top right now of the invoice view, where you can go and either add a new card or charge an existing card on the system. Again, it's a time saver, nice quality of life thing. And yes, and then this last one, you can now add a charge or charge a card to a manually created invoice directly in Stora. So all upgrades on how you charge people in the back office. But let's talk about emails. So we said this was coming, and we said it's been coming for a while, and now it's here. So it's great that it's here. But for those of you that either are new to Stora or aren't aware of how things work, so Stora sends lots of emails to your customers in the background, and it's constantly working for you. And whether that's when someone makes a booking, or their move-in day email, or when a payment fails, there's lots of things that Stora is doing for you in the background when it comes to customer communication. But up until now, it's been a little bit of a black box, in that you couldn't see it. It was kind of hidden, and that's just the way it was. But that's all changing, and we've been deep in email mode for a few months now, and now you'll be able to go in and edit a series of customer emails the Stora sends. And like, why is this important? Like, for example, some of you operate multiple sites, right? So we'll show how that works in a second, and you might want to say something different in emails that go from one site to another. Whether that's the welcome email or the booking confirmation email or whatever. So now you're going to have the ability to change those, and we'll get into a demo. But really, it's about improving communication, being able to send the right message at the right time, and ultimately, on brand voice. You can change this to say whatever you want instead of it being Stora's voice. You can now use your own tone of voice and content. But I think it's best to talk about this one in a demo format, so you can see how it all fits together and you can see where to do it. So I'm just going to share my screen. Hopefully the system lets me share my screen.
Oh, you could just do the tab.
Yeah.
Save.
There you go. So if everyone can see my screen, give me a thumbs up. I'm going to hide this. Can I hide this guy?
Everyone can see.
Cool. How do I hide this thing?
Just throw it down. There you go.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. Happy days. So you log into your Stora account, and now if you go to your settings area and you go in here, you'll see this new section for customer emails, right? So you go into here, you'll see we've broken the emails down by type, right? So again, this at the minute, we're not showing every single email the Stora sends right now. We're going to work our way through the list, but based on what we see, these are the most important ones. These are the ones that get sent the most, and we're going to continue to add more to this, but there's plenty in here to get your teeth into. So at the minute, we break these down here and we show you the emails that you can edit. So let's take say a booking confirmation email, right? So what's interesting about this, or what's helpful about this, is I mentioned the kind of multiple sites scenario. So if you have multiple sites, you can change this to this email to whatever site you're talking about, and from here you'll see what the email content is. And if you want to change it, you can say edit template. So from here, it takes you into our editor. So this is it's a rich editor. There's plenty for you to do in here. You can change the subject line. You'll see what site you're editing, and yeah, you can add as much text you want. You can even add images. You can add links. You can add buttons. There's plenty to this, but you'll see some of these curly bracket things. These are what we call merge tags, and some of you will probably guess what these are for, but this is for like dynamic content. So if you want to add the unit type name or the customer name, and we have a whole list of merge tags that you can add here, right? There's lots of them. So you can build up your own email, say whatever you want, and again, customize it for that specific site. Once you're happy with it and you want to review it, you can save a draft, or you can even send yourself a preview. So if you want to see how the email looks, with real text and not variables or merge tags, you can see a rendered version in your inbox, so you can view it on your phone, see how it looks and feels. Once you're happy with it, you can save and publish it. And if for any reason you're not happy with what you've saved and published, you can always restore back to the Stora default. So again, just in case, for whatever reason you make a mistake, you can hit restore default, and we'll take you back to what it was before you started editing it. So yeah, so there's lots to this, and we've also got some comprehensive help documentation on this one, because once you get into this, you'll start to you'll want to do quite a few things. So at the top of the screen here, you'll see learn more about editing emails. We've got some comprehensive help docs that'll guide you through whatever it is you need to do. But yeah, so that's customizable emails, and we're adding more to this over the next few months. Excuse you, Gavin.
Excuse me.
And yeah, we'd love to hear what you think. We'd love to hear what you think about it. We'd love to see how you get on with it. So that's emails. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And Jeff, you can pull the slides back up, see what we get into next. You can make that full screen.
So
whilst we're on the topic of emails, like I said earlier, Stora sends a lot of emails for you, and why it's been a bit of a where did it send, what did it send, who did it send it to? That's all changing. That's all changed. Sorry. So as of 2 weeks ago, we started backfilling and logging all the emails that we send to your customers, that Stora sends to your customers. So whether that's booking confirmation, the payment reminder, you're going to be able to see all of that in one place in Stora. So I think this is one of those ones that people wouldn't ask about a lot, but once you see it, you think, how did I do without it? And like, this is going to give you more confidence in when you're speaking to customers over the phone. If they're saying, I didn't get that email, well, you can say, well, you did. You got it at 12. You got it at 12:19 on Thursday. And yeah, it's going to help your support team. It's going to help you. It's going to help. It's going to improve your customer service. So again, I'm gonna hop into my browser so we can see where exactly you can do that. So go back to Stora. We'll go home just so you can see where we're going. So yeah, this timeline, this emails timeline. If you go to your CRM and you go to any contact, right? So let's just find me, just for the sake of it. You scroll to the bottom of any contact in Stora now, you'll see a list of the emails that have been sent, and not only the emails and when they were sent. So you can see start of the timeline, 5th of May, Stora sent a booking confirmation email for this subscription. Mm-hmm. We also link off to the subscription so you can easily find it. It was sent at 2:35, and you can see the actual email. So here's what that customer received. Here's where it was sent. There's the email address. There's the email address it came from. Here's the site it's relevant to, and also, most importantly, whether the email hit the inbox or not, right? Because that's sometimes a support, query. Did they get the email? Did they not? So this is showing the email delivery, not whether it was read or not. We're not doing read receipts, but that may come in the future. But at the minute, this is about delivery of the email, whether it got in the inbox.
Which at the end of the day is the part that matters. Did they receive the email or not?
Yeah.
Whether they read it is their choice.
Yeah, exactly. So you can see that for every email the system's going to send to that customer. And again, you see the timestamp and the actual email itself. And this will continue to grow through the lifespan of that customer's that subscription. So I'm going to pick another random one that I haven't prepared for, just to see if there's anything else in here. Hold on. Yeah, same sequence in this scenario too. But yes, actually, look, in this one, this is a good example because it shows you whether or not the email actually was delivered or not. Because sometimes customers can mistype their email, right? And in this scenario, that's exactly what's happened. The email address bounced, and that's technical speak for it's practically the wrong email address, right? So again, this will help you cut down on time when it comes to figuring out what happened across the board, and giving your customers a better experience. So this is, and the good thing about this timeline is that this is the beginning of more features like this in Stora. So we're also we're working on expanding these events to other parts of the system. So it's going to go beyond emails. So we're going to get this rich timeline across the board over the next few months. So hopefully by the next Stora sessions, we'll be able to go into a bit more detail on the events that we're showing. But yeah, this is a nice one for, again, figuring those things out.
So what's going on here?
Yep, seeing what's going on. I'll stop sharing my screen on this one. Our third one's insurance, right, Jen?
There's some few questions. Will we answer some of the questions related to emails?
Sure.
Can you resend an email to your customer from the timeline?
At the minute, no, but we will. That's coming. Like we got that feedback at the conference too.
Okay.
It's a great idea. It's a great feature. We will definitely do that. Don't know when yet, but soon, hopefully. Do the emails from earlier long-term customers show on the timeline? So no, at the minute it's we started logging these from maybe 2 weeks ago. So we're not retrospectively getting those. Unfortunately, there's no way to do that. But yeah.
So from
2 weeks ago on, yeah.
Will it be possible to change emails based on unit types in the future?
Emails based on.
We have some sites that have units with key safes on them with a code to access products, but don't want to give these codes out to every customer on the site.
So at the minute the minute emails are sitting at the site level rather than the unit type level. But I would say never. I'm trying to think of a workaround for you here.
I think that's from David. Maybe we could have a chat and ask him about that.
Yep. Yep.
Roger asked about price increases. Manually flag customers with dates that have had price increases prior to this release. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So be able to manually say
why did their price increase like 3 months ago?
Yep. We've heard that one before.
It's
not possible at the moment, but we can revisit it and look into it again. But thanks for the positive feedback on it as well in terms of time saving and adding revenue.
David Jones asked, "Can we get a report of failed emails?"
It's a good idea. Yeah, we'll take that one away too.
It'd be interesting actually if a customer is if they're never being delivered, there's a problem there. You have a report that you can kind of follow them or whatever. A feature will be added to automate review requests by email, say 14 days after move-in. Automate review requests.
Oh, that's reputation management. So being able to automate, give us a Google review for after you moved in. It's on our radar. It's something that, we're still in email land in our minds in product and engineering, and that's a use case that we're looking at, a way for you to help automate that and general move out stuff as well, not just move in.
And that's a similar answer to Rachel's question about can Stora send chaser emails to leads if they haven't booked yet? Because that's something we'd like to do as well. So that's more of a sort of CRM thing. We're trying to convert people. It's on the radar.
Yep. Is there ability to send emails in bulk? For example, send the same messages to all current subscriptions. So I'd love to get into that detail of that. Maybe I don't know if we want to do it here, but I think I'd love to understand the types of emails that people are sending and what they're sending when it comes to bulk emails.
Because if the answer at the moment is no.
Yep.
But we can do. There are some tools that help you with that. But yeah, it'd be nicer if we could do it in Stora. So if we can follow up on that, that'd be good. Okay. Oh, okay. We'll do one more question and we'll move on. Will we? Can Stora pick up a duplicate phone numbers for customers that picks up emails if it's the same as a customer? So can Stora pick up a duplicate phone number for customers? It picks up emails if it's the same as another customer, but not phone number. So
if I go to book and I use a phone number, and then you go to book the next day and use the same phone number, it should say this number's already in use.
Oh, right, yeah. But different email address.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. Thought of that.
No, I never thought of that either.
Because the emails are unique, so every customer has a unique email, whereas not on the phone. So it's the email that's a unique feature. So, okay, let's have a think with that.
Yep.
Okay, let's go on to the
insurance
revenue then.
I think you should talk about this one.
Oh, right, okay.
Well, I can demo it, but like, why do we think this is important, and why do we do this?
Yeah, well, the people who are selling insurance or selling protection, as it's called now, with a lot of operators, you do it to boost your revenue, at the same time protect your business and protect your customers as well. So it's kind of a win-win for everybody. And if there's a fire or anything goes wrong, your customers are fully covered.
Yep.
If you don't sell this stuff, there can be issues if something goes wrong, which I have found out myself at my first site where there was a leak. So it's really important to have this. If that's something that is potentially going to happen at your site. So what we're trying to do here is find ways for our operators our customers to increase their revenue. That's something we think about all the time. So how can we help you increase your revenue? One of the things that we did a couple of years ago was you were able to set a minimum coverage level per site. So for example, if you had per unit. So if you had a huge 200 square foot unit, you could stop somebody from choosing, oh, I want £1,000 worth of insurance coverage, because for a 200 square foot unit, it's very unlikely that a new for old insurance policy of £1,000 is going to be sufficient if they were to lose all of their stuff. So you could always set a minimum, but whenever somebody is checking out on our checkout page up until recently, whenever the options are presented to them for insurance, they were presented the choices starting at the minimum. So starting at whatever the minimum might be.
Yep.
We've changed that now, so you can set a default. So whenever they're on the checkout page, so as David's showing here now, you can kind of select what value do you want to be the default that's shown on the checkout. They can still click into it and pick a lower number or a higher number, but it starts them at a higher number, which we think is, because this coverage is always new for old, people are, typically will undervalue their stuff. And we're trying to find ways here to not just help you grow your revenue, but also make sure that in the event of something going wrong, you are more effectively covered, your customers are more effectively covered, they haven't underinsured. So this allows you to set a default number on the checkout, which we expect to also have an impact on the revenue that you generate from your protection or insurance coverage. We would like to think this could help you grow your revenue by 1 to 2% overall, which of course, without any change in cost, should go straight to your bottom line, and should be quite a profitable thing to do. So we would love everybody to take a look at this. If you think it's something that's suitable for your site, set some defaults and monitor what percentage of your revenue is insurance. Now, if you go to analytics, you can see that. Is there a way to see it over time if you click on that?
So I can go.
Oh yeah, there we go.
So I can say so last 6 months for this site, So say
clear, So whatever, it doesn't matter. So you can, whether it's one site or all sites, that's fine. You can see here what is the breakdown between your storage revenue and your insurance revenue, and it would be interesting if you make this change to come back and look at this in a few months' time and see, has that percentage increased a bit? And if it has, and you've made this change, then you'd like to think that this change has actually helped you grow your revenue a little bit. So growing revenue by 1 or 2%, it's not massive, but all these things add up, and they go straight to the bottom line. So this is a smallish feature, but it's something we thought could be valuable for customers.
And just to recap where you can find that, because I know I was clicking through that while Gavin was speaking. So if you go to your unit types, then go into the unit type itself. So, and you can edit that unit type in the top right, and then that tells you, or if you go to the insurance section, it's just in here, so you can choose the minimums and the defaults. And like Gavin says, it also simplifies the customer experience, that they don't have to think about anything. We've set the default for them. So I think it's a small one, but a good one. So I'm gonna stop sharing, go back to the slides. Oh, we're in Q&A already. Wow. 31 minutes in.
Any questions from anybody about any of that or anything else we're up to? This is a great chance for us to learn from customers what's not going well, it's nice to hear what's going well, but it's also nice to hear about stuff that we can actually, constructive criticism always helps us to improve. So if you have any questions about stuff that we've covered or stuff we haven't covered, now is the time. I don't know, can people unmute themselves if they want to talk, or is that possible?
I don't know. It's one for Jen. People can unmute if they want to talk.
Feel free to type them in. If you can't unmute yourself, type them into the thing. Otherwise, if there's no questions, we'll all go get some lunch. But we're happy to hang around here and take questions.
Yes, especially about the stuff we just talked about, or if it's about any of those ones that we, the six additions that we added that we didn't demo. If you have any questions about those.
Just wondering, sorry, I logged in just as you finished the email section, which is the most important bit I wanted to see, to be honest. So sorry about that. Is there any way to watch this again anywhere on I saw you recording it?
Yes, as far as I know, it's going to go on our YouTube channel, right?
Well,
or is it? I'm not sure.
Maybe.
I'm going to be sending out an email, and I'll.
Fantastic.
This.
Thank you.
Yep, so you can watch it back, or if you want to watch it again, 'cause it was so exciting, you can all watch it again, put it on at night when you're in bed, maybe have to go to sleep. Sorry, David, that wasn't you there, I was talking about myself.
They'll go sleep the insurance bit. The insurance sale.
Just knock you off. But yeah.
Dave, was there anything specifically about emails that you had a burning question or desire about that we could cover, or
just to see what was happening? For example, getting the email branded, but is it with? I don't want to go through it again because I came in late. But is it all within the CRM section rather than just a templated messages for check-in? Is that what you're showing today?
So you'll find oh, I'm not sharing my screen. You'll find the emails. I'll share my screen again. You'll find them in your settings section, your global settings section, and from there you'll be able to change site. So the emails are currently scoped at this site. So I'll go back home.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, so it's pretty fresh. So if you go to settings and then you go into customer emails, you'll see a list of all the emails that you can currently customize. This list is going to grow. So for example, if it's a booking confirmation email you want to change, right? Go to booking confirmation, and then up here you can choose the site that it's relevant to. So the reason we did that is like some people operate container sites and indoor sites, and they may want to communicate differently depending on the context. So you'll be able to do that now. And when you go to edit, you'll see the text that you can edit here, and you can add dynamic content here as well. So what we call merge tags, but a bit technical, but basically this allows you to put dynamic content into the email, like the customer's name, like "Hello, David," or "Here's your unit type," or "Here's your unit number." So those are the things that you can add through dynamic text.
Brilliant.
You can obviously customize the subject line and stuff as well. So yeah. And we've got some comprehensive help docs. You'll see a link at the top here. It goes through everything in lots of great detail. I would recommend checking those out before you go start editing. But there's also a few unique features that will help kind of lower your stress levels when you're editing these, because obviously it's a live thing. You might want to use this save and send preview, so you can send yourself an email to your inbox to see how it looks, and that will look to your customer without having to kind of cross your fingers and hope it works. So yeah.
I'm in there. That's absolutely superb. I'll have a good look. I'm not seeing the learn about the email pop-up you've got, or
interesting.
The test. Looks like I'm just live.
Interesting.
No, yeah, I've not got any test option in my screen.
It's in the edit. It's when you're in editing the email, actually. So you'll have to hit edit into the email, Dave, to see that link.
Yeah. Got it now. Thank you.
No bother. Just check out those docs. I would. Good bedtime read. Good bedtime read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Let's check if there's any other questions.
Yeah, that's not sure. Some nice feedback on price increases from Richard. Thank you. We'll continue to build on it. Roger's added defaults, and 90% of customers take the default. Isn't that interesting?
Oh,
insurance.
Wow, nice one, Roger. Right, yeah, that's interesting.
It's defaults. Yeah, 20% above minimums, and 90% of them stick with it.
Great. And David Jones is saying I've added those to it. Does work. That's great.
Hope it works.
Can you show how you? I'm not sure what minute or so ago. David Jones asks, does the customer receive a copy of the summary of cover when they book?
Copy of the summary and cover. You can add it to the. I think there's an insurance coverage merge tag and variable.
Yeah, see that there. You could include a link to their portal. You know, because you could include a link to the. The way we normally do that is we handle it with there's a page on your website with terms and conditions of the coverage, summary of cover, and link to that. That's a standardized page. I don't know. It might be in the contract as well. Let
me see.
Only because it's in the contract, doesn't it?
You should know this.
And just jumping in there, Gavin, just like you said, most operators would add a link to the insurance policy, and then it would have the cover, the summary of cover there.
Yeah, but it might not include the. So that would be all the terms. If you want to be able to show kind of like how much have they paid, like how much coverage have they got, that might not be in there yet.
It's not in there. It's not in there yet. I don't think so. It could be something that we could look into adding it as a merge tag, as a dynamic piece of content, because I can't see it.
Be a good one to add there. Actually.
Yep.
Just to say you've got £5,000 worth of coverage.
Yep.
Do you think that's enough? That might be quite a nice email to build at some point.
Yep.
People.
Yep.
Uh,
Yeah. Okay. That's a good one.
what was the next question? There's the others.
Can you make unit numbers?
Well, we've missed
Oh,
the
sorry,
stand-
oh,
missed
sorry.
answer. This is one that I would like to try to wanted some feedback on. But the looks of the above. Oh, sorry, that's the default. Okay, yeah, cool. Sorry. So can you make the unit numbers on the map bigger? No matter how big I make the units, the numbers are too small to read. Yeah, I wonder, could you just increase the size of the browser?
Yeah, you could
Text?
zoom in. You could zoom in on your browser.
That might work. Have you tried? You tried zooming in on the browser? Are we still sharing the screen here? No.
Don't
No.
think so.
We're just going to have a look at the map here and see if you press Command and plus.
Yep. That don't work.
No, doesn't work.
You see, I don't know.
Yeah, good question.
Don't think
Simple solution.
Yeah.
Magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Oh well, that
You can
doesn't really. What David's just playing around here. We're just trying to have a look around to see if there's a solution to that. But
I think the short answer is no, but we can
Yeah.
we can think.
yes. Thank you for that question. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, there's another
Make the
piece of
numbers
feedback.
bigger map. Yeah.
A thumbs up for bigger on the map.
Roger, any plans for an API? Oh, Roger, interesting question. So, as we told a few people last week at the UK conference, we really believe that a lot of the future of software is going to be driven by APIs. So, we are going to be launching our public API at Fidesa, which is at the end of September, and we're already investing lots in that. We're actually ramping up our team, investing in some like global experts in API development and building. So the outcome of the result of that is going to be for operators who want to build their own stuff around Stora, use third-party tools. We want Stora to be by far the best tool in global self-storage software for doing that. So we have an API coming. It's going to be, I think, it'll be world-class API. And it'll be the first use cases will be available in September.
Yeah, but Roger, we'd love to hear specifically what you would like to do with an API, and maybe we can have a call about that, because I think we'll be prioritizing what we feel are the most common use cases and the most achievable up front, but it will continue to evolve. So we'd love to hear specifically what it is you would like to do with an API.
William's asked a question. There's quite a few questions here, so I'm just going to be a little bit selective here, just some stuff that's related to what we're talking about or what we've covered. So William has said, I've sent myself an email as I'm a lead, but it's not showing on the CRM record for myself. What have I done wrong?
It's not showing in the CRM record. So in that event list, William, is that what you mean? In the event list we showed earlier?
Yeah, I just tried to do what you were explaining, and it's not showing.
Was it a test email that you sent, William? Like, was it, using that test function that I showed you? Because
No, it was in live.
Interesting.
And are you in as a customer?
That was lead.
What email was it that was sent?
Say again?
What email was sent?
Well, I just sent one just to myself saying test.
So the emails that are going to show up, how did you do that?
You show us the proper way of doing it. Might be more entertaining to everyone else, informative for everyone else, because I might have done something wrong.
The emails that are stored in that in the sent emails. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah.
The emails that are stored in the activity feed are the emails that Stora sends automatically to your customers. So like a move-in day email, an access email, anything else that's around the booking. So if you were to send yourself an email, that's not going to be stored. It's these for now. These are all the automated emails that Stora sends to your customers.
Okay.
So, William, if you went into the emails and sent yourself a test, for example,
I don't think that's, is that what you did, William, or was something else? A test. Right.
So if you go through it and send yourself a test, that's like a fake email almost. It's not going to get logged on the system as an email that went to someone, because it's just a test. So again, just to make it just to be ultra clear here, when you edit these emails to send to your customers, this is what will be sent to every customer thereafter. Once you change the text or add something, this is the email that will be sent every time. In this example, anyway, is when a booking's been made. This email that you're editing and you save it, that's the email that those customers will get automatically from that point on. So what we're not showing is the ability to send it like a one-off email to your customers. That's not in the system yet. That is something that will be coming.
Yeah.
But that's not what this does right now. It's about editing the emails that the system's going to send automatically. Yeah. And at the minute, it's this list of emails that you see. So
hopefully, William, soon, when you do that, soon it will be logged.
Okay.
It's not yet.
Yeah, no, I was just looking for sort of some form of system for ad hoc emails for bad debts.
Yes.
Yes, good. That is also massively on a roadmap. Sending late letters, sending missed payment emails. There are missed payment emails sent. I don't know if they're editable here. But that, William, to be honest, that's a commonly requested feature, and we're still trying to figure out what's the best way to implement that, because we may do it based around kind of a bad debt management view, where you kind of like a home for managing any bad debts. Or do we just build it as emails? We're still sort of figuring that out, because we want that to be, ultimately we want to build something that's as useful as possible for ultimately trying to get you to help you manage your bad debts, with emails being a part of that.
Okay, thank you.
But it's good to know that's what you're thinking.
Some people use ChatGPT to create their email templates and say it's easy. If bulk sending email is a future possibility, it'd be great to individually select contact recipients from the CRM. Yeah, that'll be part of the same
flexibility, but basically sending bulk emails.
Yeah.
Rachel Fisher, Stora on mobile. Is there a way there can be an update for us to zoom into the map without having to click the navigation controls on the right?
We got this feedback at the last one too, and at the conference.
Okay.
So short answer right now, you can't do that, Rachel, but we know we need to put a bit more time and effort into optimizing Stora for mobile. It's
the back office, yeah.
Yes, it's the back office. Yes, so all the customer facing stuff is very well mobile optimized. We just haven't overly prioritized people doing back office tasks on. It does anecdotally feels like more people are wanting to use Stora on their phones to get stuff done, which I think is great.
Yeah.
I think we just need to take a step back and look at that and see how frequent that is occurring before we can decide to invest more in there. But it's top of mind right now, because a lot of people it feels like more people are using it on their phone. And again, it'd be great to hear the types of things beyond the sitemap you want to do on your phone, because I think it's something we're going to improve in the near future, definitely.
Chris Palmer's asked an interesting question. Can you filter the map by unit size so we can quickly select a few unit sizes to show customers when they walk in the view? That would be quite a nice little feature.
Yeah, that would be
just
really
kind of like highlight all the 200s or whatever it might be.
That's a great idea.
Chris, okay, Rachel.
Yep.
You cannot drag through to map on mobile.
Yep.
I think we should have a chat with Rachel about our experience around the maps on mobile.
Yep.
Zooming in is a pain.
Yeah. Yep.
It'd be good if you hover over the unit. It would show customer or unit number like it does when you click on it.
Interesting. Yeah.
One place for all emails would be great. Yeah, that I completely agree. Like an email management system inside Stora. Any news, David Jones? Any news on Stora Pay for existing Stora customers? Thank you, David. Yes, actually, we have made quite a lot of strides on that recently. Did a lot of work in the past month to get a lot of the building blocks in place to make it much easier to do. So we hope to have something out in the next couple of weeks to share with customers how that's possible. So, David, we'll be in touch with you very soon on that. Chris Palmer, bad debt management view would be interesting. We've actually designed that and done a bit of work actually on it. It's just about getting it to the top of the list to get it completed. Roger's asked, what else do you have coming out this year? So there's some stuff we talk about and some stuff we don't. Two major things that we have agreed to talk about are the public API coming out at the end of September. And we're making a huge investment in that. And I think that is going to be a big differentiator for Stora and our customers going forward. And the second thing is we're releasing we're calling it Checkout 2.0, which will be the ability for you to add upsells and products and things like padlocks and 24/7 access, things like that, onto your checkout to again grow your revenue and drive your business forward. Hopefully you can see a theme with what we focus on at Stora. It's often kind of what can we do to help you grow your revenue and to build a better business. So those are the two things that we are going to be releasing at the end of September. There's one or two other things that we're going to be releasing then. We just have decided just for now just to keep under wraps. We're working very hard to move things forward. Have you thought about creating a closed Facebook group for your members so they can chat and share ideas, etc.?
We don't have a Facebook group anymore, do we?
No,
we have, but we do have a community.
We have an open community that anybody can join. The self-storage community, you can join it from our store.co. You can join from there, and it's free to join. And we do have lots of Stora users in there, often discussing bits and pieces, how they're using Stora, how they're growing their self-storage business. There's a lot of discussion in there now. I would check it out and see what you think. And actually, we need to get more active ourselves in that.
Yeah, we sometimes pop in there and ask people, do they want early access to features as well? So there's been a link added to the chat there by our very own Stephen. Yeah. So we sometimes recruit guinea pigs in there for testing things. So get in there and see what you think.
I'm sorry if I've missed any questions. I've been kind of scrolling down quickly, so apologies to anyone who I've missed. If it's a burning question, please, if I've missed it so far, please post it again. If any other questions, we do have a little bit more time, but or feel free to unmute yourself and ask verbally if you prefer. That's fine too.
Who is it we speak to about actually implementing the insurance? I know it's within the product, but how do we get? Is it Basil Fry still is the people that do that for you? Yeah.
So is the question, Dave, like how do you actually make sure you've got the coverage to sell to customers?
Exactly. It'd be a bit dishonest if we were selling it without the coverage.
I don't think we wouldn't encourage that with anybody.
Selling containers without the containers,
definitely that would be particularly difficult. Well, I think most of our customers probably are using Basil Fry, so we just would encourage you to get in touch with them. If you want to contact there, let us know. If you tell them that you're using Stora, I've worked with their legal team on building a specific Stora contract, which is kind of just an easier version of their contract that works online that they're happy with. They're legally happy with, the SSA are happy with, and we're happy with. So I would say contact Basil Fry. There are others, so you're not the only ones. If you check the SSA's website for suppliers, you might find a couple of others. We've no connection with any of them really, except lots of our customers seem happy with Basil Fry, so just an easy one to recommend. But reach out to them and tell them with Basil Fry we have a specific contract, so you can tell them you're using Stora.
Okay, thanks.
Rachel has asked a quite interesting question, which actually that is not an easy thing to do.
No,
because Rachel has asked if it's possible if you allocate the wrong unit size to a customer, is there a way to get an error message or a warning? And it's not easy because we actually have separated out the concept of unit types and units because it gives a lot more flexibility for managing how you allocate units. So the unit type is more kind of how much are they paying, really, is kind of what that is. How much do they pay on what cadence, monthly, 4-weekly, whatever.
Yeah.
Then you could allocate any units to the customer. So that is an interesting question, and I could agree that would be a useful thing to have. It would be something way down the line because we'd have to kind of have a way of just checking it and using some new approach to how we do it. So sorry, Rachel, it's not a quick answer and a yes to that, but that would be a bit more complicated than it sounds at first glance.
Yep. For how often it probably occurs. Like, would that be the type of thing, Rachel, that would happen a lot? Is it common for someone to allocate the wrong unit, or is it just more a security and insurance policy?
Yeah. If you let us know, that might be another one just to take off after the call. Well, thanks very much, everybody. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining. I hope it's been helpful, and I really would love to. We got a little bit of feedback about the insurance defaults there, which sounds like some of our bigger customers have been using and testing, and it's working. So I would encourage everyone to use it. That's an encouraging start. And the emails and the new email customization, getting the emails in your list. Would love to hear any feedback on it. Anything is missing, we've already got lots on this call, so that's really helpful. But anything else, please let us know. We always do value that sort of feedback. It's how we improve the product. So thanks very much, everybody.